Welcome to History Reimagined channel. Subscribe now so you don't miss more videos like this one. In 1951 Los Angeles, Earl Thiessen photographed a young Marilyn Monroe, her star power capturing the allure of post-war Hollywood and a legendary icon's dawn. Beside Sitting Bull at Little Bighorn in 1876, the fierce Oglala warrior Chief Low Dog fought with iron resolve, defending Lakota land and ancestral identity. In 1918, the Australian Light Horse marched through East Jerusalem, their steady advance toward Mount Scopus marking the final decisive stages of the Palestine campaign. In 1937 Toronto, two women wore shorts on Yonge Street, drawing such astonished stares that bystanders stumbled, marking a bold shift in modern fashion norms. In 1912, a priest prayed over Titanic victims recovered from the icy deep, capturing profound faith and the staggering human cost of this infamous maritime disaster. In 1954, Surrealist master Salvador Dali used his mustache as a paintbrush, an eccentric act that turned his face into a living canvas of playful defiance. A monstrous dust storm loomed over 1935 Texas, an apocalyptic wall of earth ready to swallow dreams and sunlight during America's devastating Dust Bowl era. In 1944, Lana Turner's captivating presence in Marriage is a private affair defined Hollywood's golden age, blending wartime escapism with the era's classic, radiant glamour. Captured in 1896, the graceful Marie stood poised and determined, unaware she would soon become Romania's beloved queen and a comforting light for a wounded nation. During the terrifying days of World War II, British infants were placed inside massive gas masks, an eerie sight where even innocence was shielded by heavy rubber. Known as the Turnbuckle Girls, these skilled women fueled America's air power in 1918, proving their purpose and precision on the high-stakes factory floor of war. In the late 1860s, Ulysses S. Grant and Andrew Johnson shared a tense dinner, a rare glimpse into fragile unity during America's turbulent and divided Reconstruction era. After a night of relentless harassment in 1960, Anita Ekberg emerged with a bow and arrow, turning celebrity pressure into an iconic act of glamorous defiance. In May 1919, German soldiers posed with a teenager they mistook for a revolutionary official, a tragic snapshot of innocence, lost moments before a cruel execution. In a daring vintage circus act, a man faced an alligator inside a glass tank, a dangerous spectacle that defined the golden age of theatrical wonder. In a shimmering gown, Marilyn Monroe serenaded President Kennedy in 1962, an unforgettable gala moment layered with Hollywood glamour, hushed whispers, and lasting historical intrigue. In 1956 Montgomery, Martin Luther King Jr. was greeted by Coretta's tender kiss, a powerful image of love and resilience amidst the fierce civil rights struggle. In 1942, Steinway dropped pianos by parachute into war zones, uplifting World War II troops with music and morale, 88 keys of airborne hope. At the 1936 Berlin Olympics, Adolf Hitler recoiled as Carla de Vries impulsively kissed him, a surreal and controversial moment frozen in sports history. During the 1960s, Barbara Eden's timeless charm and beauty epitomized the radiant glamour of American television's golden era and Hollywood's global cultural influence. Born in 1833, Alexander Alexandrovich, the eldest son of Pushkin, dedicated his life to guarding his father's poetic legacy until his death in 1914. Huddled in a tent near Louisiana, a family embodied the raw hardship and resilience defining America's rural struggles throughout the early 1900s. On January 29, 1924, Miss Mary Bay took the wheel, symbolizing women's growing independence and the modern spirit of the evolving automobile age. In 1945, Berlin, Soviet officers surveyed fallen figures on a park bench, haunting evidence of the Third Reich's total collapse during its final days. The 1943 Bengal famine left an unimaginable scar, as policy failures caused millions to perish under British colonial rule in just 8 short months. Adolf Hitler's destroyed bunker remained in ruins after 1945, a somber monument to the fall of Nazi Germany and the end of World War II. In 1967, young Arnold Schwarzenegger hoisted 254 kilograms without a warm-up, a feat of pure strength foreshadowing his legendary rise to global stardom. Anne Frank's timeless words remind us that nobody needs to wait a single moment before starting to improve the world through courage and small acts. In the early 1900s, New York's elevated trains watched over horse-drawn carriages, capturing a vivid glimpse into a bustling city before the subway era began. In 1943, legendary actor Clark Gable traded Hollywood glamour for a gunnery position in England, manning an aircraft weapon with grit and true military resolve. Carrying rifles older than themselves, the Thantry militia practiced their deadly timing against iron birds, earning top honors through pure, unyielding courage and skill. A shell-shocked reindeer stood amidst the 1941 snows as bombs fell over Russia, a haunting symbol of how World War II shattered nature's quiet silence. Long before wireless clicks, a wooden block with wheels marked the humble birth of the 1968 computer mouse, forever changing how we point and click. On June 6, 1944, wounded soldiers of the 16th Infantry awaited evacuation at Omaha Beach, a somber testimony to the heavy human cost of D-Day. Sheltering behind a Sherman tank in 1944, James Gregory and Omer Taylor calmly smoked while enemy fire raged, showing the nerves of steel required then. In 1895 Alaska, seal hunting showcased a rugged era's survival, reflecting the harsh northern life and global fur demands of the late 19th century. Returning to Villisca in 1943, Lieutenant Colonel Robert Moore was embraced by loved ones, a Pulitzer-winning image capturing the soul of wartime America's homecoming. During 1936 Police Day, New South Wales hosted motorcycle-drawn chariots, a bizarre spectacle of interwar pageantry that blended ancient aesthetics with modern mechanical innovation. In 1896, Henry Ford rode his quadricycle, a humble four-wheeled invention that quietly signaled the beginning of a global revolution in modern personal transportation. Racing cars roared across Fiat's rooftop track in 1923, Turin, an architectural masterpiece symbolizing Italy's bold industrial ambition and relentless pursuit of automotive speed. In 1940, German troops captured a French tanker from his Char B-1, a stark symbol of the rapid blitzkrieg collapse during the initial World War II invasion. Beneath a simple children's seesaw in 1946 Palestine, a massive Haganah weapon cache was unearthed, hiding hundreds of rifles and grenades under innocent play. In 1982, Greenpeace activists risked everything by placing their small boats before massive dumping ships, a defining moment in the global fight against radioactive waste. In a smoky Paris cellar during 1951, a young couple swayed to wild bebop rhythms, their hearts racing as jazz and freedom danced. In 1942, sailors aboard a United States Navy cruiser lined up for payday, a rare moment of routine normalcy amidst the uncertainty of wartime. In 1938 London, a boy wore an eerie Adolf Hitler mask, an unsettling satiric image reflecting how fascism's shadow reached deep into British consciousness. At Yorktown in May 1862, Federal 13-inch mortars stood ready, formidable symbols of Civil War engineering and the massive destructive power of American siege. Steel arches stretched across the 1928 Newcastle sky as the Tyne Bridge rose, joining sky and ambition through thousands of iron rivets and determination. After failing to crush British wings in 1940, Hitler unleashed the Blitz, a campaign of fire that brought devastation to London's streets and families. A weary German soldier read a magazine at the front, seeking rare comfort in mailed periodicals that offered a fragile connection during the hardships of World War II. In 1975, orphaned Vietnamese babies were airlifted during Operation Baby Lift, a poignant moment blending desperate rescue with the uncertain futures of displacement far from home. In 1941, daring Soviet female pilots became the legendary Night Witches, flying silent moonlight missions that terrorized the skies and reshaped the history of World War II. In 1917, on India's northwest frontier, camels transported wounded men across harsh terrain, reflecting the vital reliance on animals during World War I. On June 7, 1943, legendary actor Clark Gable manned an aircraft weapon in England, serving as a gritty gunnery instructor during World War II. Through the bombed-out ruins of 1940 London, a milkman delivered with quiet resolve, proving that simple daily routine was the ultimate act of rebellion. Amidst the Moscow frost of January 1964, Fidel Castro laughed on an ice slide, briefly trading revolutionary battles for play beneath the Cold War shadow. In 1945, a weary soldier returned home to a desperate embrace from his daughter, an enduring symbol of relief and the heavy cost of World War II. Douglas Bader, a legless World War II flying ace, used his prosthetics to resist intense forces, becoming a hero shaped by pure defiance and soaring courage. Sheltering behind an M4 Sherman in 1944 Germany, James Gregory and Omer Taylor calmly smoked while enemy fire raged, showing incredible nerves of steel. On March 24, 1999, a NATO bomb marked Happy Easter fell on Yugoslavia, capturing a chilling blend of dark humor and modern warfare's grim reality. In August 1920, Polish and German forces clashed during the Second Silesian Uprising, a fierce struggle reflecting the nationalist tensions over contested territories after World War I. Executed in France during 1917, the Dutch dancer Mata Hari left a legend of intrigue and tragedy that defined the shadows of World War I. In the 1950s, Bunny Yeager thrived as a model and photographer, her work redefining post-war pin-up culture and women's powerful presence behind the camera lens. In 1933, only 24 black workers were among those building the Hoover Dam, a small group whose labor stands as testimony to overlooked historical contributions. In 1917 Harcira, Turkish troops operated a German light field howitzer, highlighting the Ottoman Empire's vital reliance on German artillery during the Great World War I. In 1924, Paris, citizens balanced on long rows of chairs to cross flooded streets, an improvised pathway capturing the city's resilient and enduring courageous heart. In 1945 at Muscle Beach, young April carried 425 pounds of weight, embodying mid-century America's deep fascination with raw strength and dazzling spectacle. Circus performers in the early 1900s created a human tower of balance, embodying the teamwork, artistry, and joy of traveling entertainment throughout the United States. In 1975, a MiG-21 jet crashed into a Plattenbau apartment in Cottbus, a terrifying and unexpected moment etched into the dark annals of aviation history. On November 15, 1889, Emperor Pedro II sat for his final portrait, a somber gaze marking the monarchy's fall and Brazil's Republican dawn. In 1897, the Sagrada Familia rose like a skeletal stone dream, Gaudi's sacred geometry slowly beginning to redefine the ancient heart of Barcelona's skyline. In 1929, Hoquiam, women modeled wooden bathing suits, a curious and buoyant experiment reflecting the era's whimsical, if impractical, approach to modern summer leisure. On April 15, 1945, United States troops unearthed a mountain of Nazi gold and stolen treasures hidden deep within the dark, salt-encrusted Merkers mine. In the 1940s, a Chinese-American man wore a defensive sign proclaiming his heritage, a somber shield against the racial prejudice haunting the United States.